the My Airtel app to buy Yaka units. Airtel Money. Simple, secure, borderless.
A very good evening to you all. Thank you for watching UBC TV. This is the news tonight, the 10 o'clock edition. With me, Wadulo, Mark, Arnold, Mugalu Muhammad on sign language. And these are headlines tonight. CHOGM 2022 ends in Kigali, Rwanda. Togo and Gabon admitted to the Commonwealth. Furthermore, Vice President Alupo passes out over 2,100 student patriots in Katakwi district. Government to construct serious storages for towers across the country. And in sports, the She Cranes in a netball regional tour. They visit Gulu in that regard. Thank you for joining us. Exactly 1 minute past the hour of 10 o'clock. We now give you the news in detail. The 26th Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting has been concluded in Rwanda's capital, Kigali, with new members, Gabon and Togo, joining as the 55th and 56th members, respectively. The Commonwealth leaders accepted applications by the two West African countries during the closing session, where the heads of state also underscored the importance of connecting, innovating and transforming in order to facilitate a full recovery from the COVID-19 pandemic.
We discussed Commonwealth priorities around governance, human rights, the rule of law, sustainability and the key issues related to trade and economic growth. And we reflected on the particular impact these challenges have on our small states. You'll know that of the 54 countries in the Commonwealth, 32 are small states. A number of new principles, declarations and frameworks were endorsed, and you will find them all in our communiqué, but key to them were the following. The Living Lands Charter, a call to action on living lands, which seeks to put into place actions to support the 3 Rio Conventions. The Kigali Declaration on childcare reform, the Declaration on sustainable urbanization, and last but not least, the Declaration on gender equality and women's empowerment. Heads of government wish to formally send their congratulations to Her Majesty the Queen in the year of her Platinum Jubilee. And I am delighted to confirm that the Commonwealth she has served with such devotion will grow from 54 to 56 nations as we welcome the Gabonese Republic and the Togolese Republic into our family today.
We are all committed to values of the Commonwealth, no question, but it's not for one group to define and measure who lives up to it. The Commonwealth is diverse. and we respect that diversity. As chair in office, we look forward to working towards strengthening the partnerships within the Commonwealth for the benefit of all our citizens.
Vice President Major Retired Jessica Alupo has commissioned a total of 2,184 student patriots from 17 secondary schools and tertiary institutions in Katakwi district. While passing out the student cause, Vice President Alupo called upon students and the general community to love their country and be ready to work for it. These are the details.
Today is a very important day in your lives because you have received the training which you may never receive anywhere else in any classroom that you may enter from today onwards. The training you have received is very unique and is specifically for patriotism classes. And as you may wish to note, patriotism comes from the word nationalism. And in NRM, we have 4 principles: nationalism, Pan-Africanism, socio-economic transformation, and democracy. So from nationalism comes the words patriotism, which requires you and all of us to love our country first. It requires you and all of us to be people of high moral integrity, to be people who are very, very honest in the conduct of our duties, to be very hardworking, but also to be physically fit. A patriot does physical exercises every morning and evening so that you are physically fit to manage to do your day-to-day work or activities. So I would like to thank your instructors and the head teachers who presented you to the instructors for the training, for placing you in the best seedbed where the leaders of today and tomorrow who are responsible are trained from.
Again, Vice President Major Retired Jessica Alupo received a hero's welcome back to her former school, where she joined other alumni and stakeholders for a fundraising drive to construct a new girls' dormitory at Kangole Girls Secondary School in Napak District. The Vice President, who was the chief guest at the function, delivered President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni's contribution of 60 million Ugandan shillings towards the new girls' dormitory.
Kangole Girls Secondary School in Napak District has organized a fundraising drive where its old girls gathered in their hundreds to celebrate the milestones of a journey that carved out great futures for most of them. The day also attracted hundreds of other guests and well-wishers. Joining the school fraternity after 20 years was homecoming for Vice President Jessica Alupo, reconnecting with her past and walking in with the strides of success as a former student and alma mater to raise funds for a new dormitory, celebrate the school's patron Sacred Heart of Jesus, and also marking St. Peter's Feast Day. During the fundraising drive that President Yoweri Museveni contributed 60 million shillings, the alumni and other stakeholders raised 105 million in cash and pledges. In her message, the Vice President said that as facilities and infrastructure are improving in Karamoja region, there is no excuse why children, especially girls, should stay at home to graze cattle adding that there might be a program to force school-going children to attend school. The Vice President gave a token of gratitude to the school, saying the school nurtured her. Reporting for UBC TV News, Stephen Kanakulia, Sempa.
In another development, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has contributed a total of 30 million Ugandan shillings towards the construction of a multi-purpose building project of the Archdiocese of Mbarara Development Association, AMDA. AMDA is an association that brings together 49 Catholic parishes under the Mbarara Archdiocese. It comprises of the Catholic faithfuls from the Archdiocese who live in Kampala metropolitan area. The group is putting up a multi-billion complex at Rubaga Hill to house a church, a bishop and priest's house, as well as commercial offices estimated at a cost of 5 billion Ugandan shillings.
President Yoweri Museveni has contributed a total of 30 million shillings towards the construction of a multi-purpose building project of the Archdiocese of Mbarara Development Association. The group is putting up a multi-billion complex at Rubaga Hill to house a church, a bishop and priest's houses, as well as commercial offices estimated to cost 5 billion shillings.
Mwebare kunyeta kushaba nimwe. Ninsima banywani banje abanyabwina parish. I am a parishioner of Nyabwina, as you may all know. The sacrifices made for the sake of spreading the gospel are not in vain. The government commends the work done by the association such as AMDA, whose sole aim is the holistic transformation of a person as envisaged by Jesus in his mission on earth. AMDA and government are therefore partners in securing the future of Ugandans. I commend AMDA leadership and members for not forgetting their home dioceses and parishes. Since you are a catalyst for transformation in the rural areas where many of us were born and were nurtured, I want to bring you greetings from His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, and Mama Janet, the Minister of Education and Sports, and the First Lady. They send you their warm regards and greetings.
The chairman of the Mbarara Development Association, Chris Gumisiriza, lauded the members of Nyabwina Parish for ably mobilizing many members in and outside the AMDA to attend Mass and generously contributing resources towards the implementation of the Rubaga House. The chairman of Nyabwina Parish, Gordon Nankunda, said, as a parish, they intend to mobilize funds to stock the school's libraries and rehabilitating the structures. Reporting for UBC TV News, Stephen Kanakulia, Sempa.
Now, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has directed the Finance Ministry to secure a loan to facilitate the construction of storage silos at all parishes across the country. This has been revealed by the State Minister for Trade, Industry and Cooperatives, David Bahati, during a joint parish development model talk show for Chigezi held in Kabale District.
Ministers hailing from Chigezi sub-region are busy mobilizing communities to embrace government programs. This weekend, these four ministers gathered at Kabale National Teachers College in Kabale District to communicate to the entire sub-region. The joint radio talk show for parish development model was aimed at creating public awareness, mobilize and sensitize Chigezi communities about the program.
It's important to know that it's for all Ugandans. In fact, the parish development model should unite us. Instead of thinking about division of politics, of religion, of tribe, which are useless. This is going to start Uganda into to another level.
And we have identified a number of enterprises that we think the people of Kigezi can get involved in. Poultry is one of them, piggery, horticulture and vegetables, zero grazing, fruits, and coffee. So we want to encourage our people, and that's the message we had this evening, to get involved in commercial agriculture.
This is a program initiated by the NRM government, but meant to benefit all Ugandans, particularly when it comes to the pillar of financial inclusion. We are focusing on those in the lowest ladder of the economy.
Every minister almost remained in his or her lane of duty during discussions.
The sector of trade, industry and cooperatives, we are now focusing on making sure that when people produce, there is storage, and His Excellency the President has now directed and guided that we source for a facility from UKF of around $150 million to set up silos at every sub-county to increase the value of what we are producing so that we take advantage of the massive markets.
Then regarding those people who are likely to attempt to misuse the money, the law will catch up with you because the mechanisms are there. We have told you, the committee, this is a well thought out program. It has been done by consultants, it has been discussed in the cabinet, even in parliament. There is no way it can be abused.
My Ministry of ICT and National Guidance leads on the pillar of management information system. And this makes the PDM different from the previous initiatives because we are strengthening monitoring, reporting, and evaluation.
The 4-hour talk show featured Security Minister, retired Major General Jim Muhwezi, ICT Minister Dr. Chris Baryomunsi, State Minister for Trade, Industry and Cooperatives David Bahati, and State Minister for Children Affairs Sarah Mateke. The address carried on different media platforms locally operating in Kigezi sub-region was a successful one. Robert Onyango, UBC News.
The Minister for ICT, Dr. Chris Baryomunsi, has urged the clergy in Kanungu to embrace and support the government to promote the newly rolled out poverty eradication program, parish development model. He says that religious institutions also have a role to play in promoting poverty alleviation programs such as the parish development model, that their followers are financially empowered. The minister made these remarks during the Sunday service at Makiro Catholic Parish in Kanungu District.
Makiro Catholic Parish in Kanungu was this Sunday filled to capacity as close to 600 young Christians from schools around Kanungu fulfilled one of the sacraments of confirmation in Catholic faith. The jubilant Christians spent better half of the service singing songs of praises as they cheered the new confirmation candidates. The confirmation was conducted by the Monsignor Sunday John Vian of Kabale Diocese, where he encouraged the newly confirmed candidates to be firm in their faith.
The sacrament of confirmation gives the believers a possibility of receiving the Holy Spirit in fullness. That means after receiving the sacrament of confirmation, they become true witnesses of Christ, ready to defend Christ and witness Christ wherever they go, and at the same time defending the church.
The Minister for ICT, Dr. Chris Baryomunsi, was the chief guest at the religious undertaking and urged the clergy in Kanungu to embrace and support government to promote the parish development model initiative.
Particularly the religious leaders to join hands with the government in the promotion of the parish development model, which is a new strategy that we are promoting as government as a way of reaching out to the ordinary people, the poor people, people who are in subsistence livelihood, so that they can be uplifted and they be part of the money economy. Government is championing this program, but we need partnership with the church, with the religious institutions, with the civil society.
He applauded the religious for their role in shaping the society with values and pledged to support the church projects whenever need arises.
I have thanked the religious leaders in this area of Kabale Diocese and Chinchiz here in particular for the good work that they are doing to promote spiritual growth.
Bariomusi later joined the family of late William Masombuku in Nyamirama village, Chihihi Town Council in Kanungu for a decent send-off. William Masombuku, who is a retired UPDF soldier and proprietor of Starlink bus company, died of COVID-19 last year, and the family could not give him a befitting send-off due to the restrictions in then.
Because it was buried scientifically, we are now here to pay tribute after 1 year, but also continue to recognize his contributions. We can say many things about him. He was a retired soldier. We thank him for having joined UPDF and participated in the liberation and the pacification of the country. We thank him as an NRM cadre.
Philip Aguta, UBC News in Kanungu.
The Presidential Chief Executive Officers Forum have toured Sino-Uganda Industrial Park Mbale to ascertain its performance and progress. Seated on 618 acres of land with 23 factories, over 2,000 jobs have been created, hence reducing the unemployment challenge in Mbale region.
Government has embarked on the industrialization policy for development and also bridge on the unemployment gap. This has prompted the Presidential Chief Executive Officer Forum to pay a courtesy visit to Sino Industrial Park to ascertain the progress and also do research and advocacy to bridge the gap between government and the private sector.
It is such a pleasure as a Ugandan in particular to come to a park like this and to see the importance of technology transfers and collaboration with other countries like China in particular. So as CEOs, we really want to thank the Presidential CEO Forum, which really has done a very good job in bridging the gap between the private sector and government, showing us practically what we need in order to grow as Ugandans, in order to grow our businesses, and in order for us to be able to really compete at a regional level, at a continental level. And
Chief Executive Officers, Sino-Uganda Industrial Park Mbale, lauded the Presidential Chief Executive Officers Forum for the initiative and pledged to work handy with government for development. Provision of technological skills was, however, cited as eminent following the increasing number of factories in the country.
Today what I've seen between the Sino-Uganda Industrial Park is very amazing, especially for the young people that we have seen who have gotten employment. They have learned how to assemble different equipment like percolators, bulbs, cables.
The government was urged to come up with a good and well-thought industrial policy to ensure a fast and steady growth.
So I think this is the way to go, and knowing that the Uganda Investment Authority is establishing more industrial parks across Uganda, I think we will very fast achieve development in this country. As the CEO's Forum invitee and member, I think this is very good for us. Many of us have learned a lot, so it will help our partnership with government to advise.
According to the management of Sino Industrial Park Uganda Mbale, the gesture by the Presidential CEO Forum of visiting different companies establishes a good working relationship.
To visit Sino Uganda Mbale Industrial Park, I believe they are happy with the progress in the park, and they are willing to work with us. Thank you, Your Excellency, the President of the Uganda, for the good working relationship.
Sudat Kaye, Yiga Muhammad, UBC News.
Muslims have been asked to embrace government programs, especially the parish development model, to improve their livelihoods. This has been disclosed by the Minister of Kampala, Hajat Misa Kabanda, in Malwa village, Busunju, Mityana district during prayers organized in memory of the late Abubakar Kawoya.
It was all joy and happiness as the Minister for Kampala Affairs, Hajat Misa Kabanda, visited Kachindu, Marwa village, Mityana district. Residents, particularly Muslims, thanked President Museveni for the ministerial position given to Hajat Misa Kabanda and asked him to embrace more Muslims in positions of leadership. They were asked to trust the Almighty in whatever they do.
Ebiri mu nsi tolwana gwekola ky'olina okukola saba Katonda wo genda okole emirimu gyo ebisigadde yabimanyi kubanga ne bwe byali bijja era tewabimanya ani yamanya nti Hajjat Kabanda asobola okubeera minisita mu bwesedde n'obwesedde bw'abakyala abali mu nsi eno.
Hajat Misa Kabanda was thanked for her dedication towards work with the call of other leaders to embrace her leadership skills. Hajat Misa urged Muslims to stop lamenting but rather embrace government programs, especially the parish development model.
Waliwo tusanze abantu nga bagamba parish model mbi nnyo abamu ne baganira nayo gye bali mu kubanga bawagira paati nki ndala. Gwe kwata ssente za movement amazike ge mwagala ziri emmyufu. Wano ani ayagala nti wemba muwadde emmyufu ayagala ya yero. Era ogamba bampe ekizike kyemba nkola ki kyemba nkwata. Abakyala abali wano mugende mugye ssente zo kuba ssente zize kukolerera mmwe abakyala abasookerwako. Then n'abaami abali wano nga musobola okugya ssente zo muzigyeyo sobola okubayamba tusobole okuba nga twekulaakulanya ku miruka gyaffe.
She urged Muslims not to politicize the parish development model but rather use the funds to improve their welfare. Imams in Maraka Chindu village were urged to embrace the parish development model program and encourage the poor of the poorest to utilize the funds well. The late Abubakar Kawoya was described as a man who was intelligent and patriotic. Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
Government, in partnership with the Center for Agriculture and Biosciences International, has equipped youth in Central Buganda region with skills to support extension. The training was held at Zirowe Agaliawamu Agribusiness Training Association offices and attracted several youth from Luwero and neighboring districts.
The Commissioner, Crop Protection and Acting Director, Crop Resources at the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, Stephen Viantuare, says building capacities among youth in regard to crop pest diagnosis, crop pest control and chemical use is in line with government policy of delivering services closer to the people and ensuring success of parish development model.
Its multiplier effect is so great that like this training at Zapta alone, we have youths from 8 districts. So if we can do this and expand it regionally in all places, we shall have enough youth to support the parish development model where we don't have enough extension workers working with our people.
He added that the Youth Skilling Initiative will support the 3 of the 7 pillars of the parish development model, which are production, processing, storage and marketing, financial inclusion, mindset change and soft skilling.
So slowly together working with the ministry, we hope that we can enroll it, and at some point actually it should be taken up again by the ministry, just like the ministry took the plant doctor training, so that there is a youth package that the ministry can use to train youth as plant doctors.
This follows incidences where farmers have reportedly been making losses due to crop infections and non-functional extension workers to guide them.
Currently the problem is having a skills gap. The farmers are going into production but they don't know what to do. They don't have the skills in agribusiness, they don't have the skills in agronomy, and that's still a challenge.
Whereas government has employed some extension workers to guide, they are reportedly rare visit farmers, but with government partnership with the Center for Agriculture and Bioscience International, CABI, the future is bright. A senior scientist at Center for Agriculture and Bioscience International, CABI, Dr. Joseph Mulema says, skilling of the youth for service provision is under one of the CABI Plantwise Plus programs.
So we are not necessarily creating a parallel extension system from what the government is doing, but we are trying to see how do we enable the government get extension services closer to the farmer. And with the youth unemployment scourge that is affecting Africa and especially Sub-Saharan Africa, getting youth interested into delivering services in agriculture along the various value chains is one of the ways we can actually help youth get into gainful employment.
A farmer organization, Zabta, was selected in Uganda to pilot the initiative because of their proven village agent model and its Nokia youth platform. Joseph Buule reporting.
In another development, arts teachers have been advised to remain teaching while advocating for better pay in order for them not to be vindicated or faulted for being incompetent Ugandans in the years to come. This was reiterated by engineer Ronald Kato while at Namiryango Junior Boys School during a function that witnessed 243 pupils receive the Holy Sacrament of the Holy Communion.
Colorful isn't word enough to describe the site at Namiryango Junior Boys, as more than 200 learners received the sacrament of confirmation. It was rather electric and symbolic of the presence of God during service presided over by Father Ignatius Kibuka.
We are here to first of all celebrate the Lord's Day as Christians.
Today has three important activities. This first one of commitment in faith and personal communion, the one that we are concluding.
The same occasion was used to make an appeal to teachers to remain on the job while advocating for better pay in order not to compromise learners and parents.
We are aware there is the ongoing industrial action. I want to assure parents that the teachers in Namiryango Junior Boys School are still teaching. However, they are also affected by the challenges arising out of the disparity in the wages, in the salaries for the science and arts teachers. So we are continuing to engage with them, to continue teaching until such a time when government amicably settles the industrial action.
More than 200 learners received the sacrament of Holy Communion, while 81 committed to the Catholic faith and were tasked to remain steadfast.
We are proud, based on the foundation of the school, to ensure that our children, our pupils, get a strong foundation and commitment in the Catholic faith. And with all these values, we know we're building good citizens for this country.
Agricultural scientists have advised farmers to use climate-smart agricultural practices as an adaptation technology to climate change. This is as a result of climate change that has caused rainfall variability, thus affecting the country's agriculture that is majorly rain-fed. Adiana Kuti with a report.
In Uganda, 80% of the population rely on agriculture, either directly or indirectly, and as such, the agricultural sector is described as the backbone of the country's economy. However, this important sector of the economy has been greatly affected by climate change, with some parts of the country hit hard by drought, thus limiting productivity since the agricultural sector is mainly rain-fed. Agricultural scientists have now urged farmers, especially women, since they are the major contributors to the agricultural sector, to adapt to climate-smart agricultural technologies.
These technologies improve yields ranging from 50% to 200%, you can see. there are instances where the increase in yield is very drastic, from up to about 200%. And what we have noted is that in a good year, people using our technologies do much better than those that are using the conventional methods. But in bad years, whereas in conventional agriculture, a crop can be totally decimated, total crop failure. When people use these technologies, at least they harvest something. It's non-total crop failure.
There are many practices under climate-smart agriculture that include irrigation, mulching, application of fertilizers, use of permanent planting basins, use of rip lines, among others. After being introduced to different smart agricultural practices, farmers choose the preferred method depending on the soil type, landscape, and the type of crop. For instance, in case of maize, farmers mainly use permanent planting basins and drip lines.
We have a climate smart agriculture committee, and this committee will have incorporated the parents. And the parents come to learn the good practices at school using this demonstration garden. We have also trained the children, because we used to use children to plant maize using the basin systems, and they get these practices to Gandhi carry out in their homes.
The method we are using rip lines, and the benefit when we use the rip lines, it does not consume a lot of time. Like we can use the other local method, we can use more than 2 days in planting an acre. But this one, it's just a short period of time as they plow using oxen. Those who are planting drop as we cover, and within a shortest time we have already finished the work, which would have taken some good days.
Though not widely used, small-scale irrigation is also another climate-smart agricultural technology that has helped to improve crop and vegetable production throughout the year. The case in point is Helen Machika, a small-scale farmer in Kasangati, a Kampala city suburb, who has embraced irrigation in the face of climate change. Machika produces greens and vegetables throughout the year.
Finding a way to get farmers to have irrigation systems, maybe at a reduced cost in terms of loans, but really at low interest rates, so that as they produce, maybe during the season, they are able to start paying back.
The challenge of climate change is growing, and the agricultural sector will definitely face more threats, and therefore farmers need to shift to adaptive mechanisms like climate-smart agriculture to sustain food production and productivity.
Communities have been urged to come out in large numbers to donate blood to help those that may need, including COVID-19 patients. This call was made by the non-resident Nepalese Association members who were participating at a blood donation drive.
The Nepalese nationals living in Uganda have embarked on a blood donation drive to assist those that might need it. The association has been engaged in a blood drive campaign to save lives for the last 5 years. The head of blood donation campaign, Basha Chete, said that they are planning to travel to Moroto in Karamoja region to mobilize communities to donate blood to save lives.
NRNA isn't into a social work, donating blood, collecting blood. We are basically just UBTS who's doing the work of collecting blood, and we are just mobilizing the people. You know, we are facilitating the mobilization so that it reaches to the utmost all the people in the Uganda. Yeah, and we're also collecting blood so that whenever people are in need, you know, like especially in Corona time when there is an emergency, we can help them. We are in the process to do it in a country-wise.
The association leadership says that they do not only do blood donations, but also do other charity work to schools, orphans and many more.
In September, but in Uganda we can see the news from public or social media, lack of blood, people losing their life. So we want to just support them to give blood and save their life.
Working in Uganda to provide all the community, the needy people, as well as whatever the social activities are available. We are helping each and every community from our side with our full efforts, thinking that, majorly the problems we are seeing that in Uganda, it's having the blood donation thing. People don't donate the blood. But if you go in hospital, there is a scarcity of the blood, which is required by each and every people. Now, seeing this necessity, what we decided, let's have a campaign at least in a year 1 or 2 times, so that we can get some blood and provide to the people who are in need of it.
The consulate of Nepal in Uganda, Dr. Sudhir Palalia, says it's high time to give blood after the Minister of Health alert on COVID-19 resurgence.
First of all, I'm the honorary consul for Nepal, and I want to come here and show them my support for the great work they're doing.
We'll now take a short commercial break and be back with business news. Stay tuned.
The Tales of Kasozi, brought to you by Uganda Communications Commission.
Hello, this is Kasozi. How can I help you?
Congratulations. Oh, one good day.
Good day? But I haven't entered any competition.
Oh, what day? Since you use your phone every day, we have randomly selected you as one of our loyal customers, and you have won a brand new pickup.
Hey, so how do I get this pickup?
The pickup is in Namave. All we have to do is quickly bring it to you. We are delivering many of them. So, just send us 100k for fuel via mobile money and we'll bring it to you.
But Chief, I'm in no hurry to receive it. Namambe is just here. Keep it at your warehouse, give me directions and I will get time to pick it up.
Vow nawe. If you don't have money, just say.
Tonfera, never send money to strangers. Winners of competitions are contacted through official channels and are never asked to pay for anything. Stay tuned for what Kasozi does next.
Tonfera, refrain from unnecessary engagements with strangers over the phone. This message is powered by UCC, MTN, Airtel, Bank of Uganda, and NPSP Association.
Are you a player in the tourism sector with a struggling business following the COVID pandemic? UDB, in partnership with European Union, is providing financial assistance to businesses operating in the tourism sector. You can access subsidized loan with grants, loan with a tenure of up to 5 years, free business advisory services, and free environmental impact assessment. Visit www.udbl.co.ug/call for applications to apply. Deadline for submission is 31st October 2022 at 5 p.m. For more information, please call 0414 355 509.
Get connected today with the My Airtel 4G smartphone and enjoy free data for 1 whole year worth 86,500 Uganda shillings. That's free 2 GB for the first month and free 1 GB for the next 11 months at only 250,000 Uganda shillings with free data for 1 whole year worth 86,500 shillings, making the effective price of the 4G phone 163,500 shillings only. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Oh, Susan, I want to propose to Rose. Yes, and this time I am serious.
Have you guys had sex?
Duh, of course.
And have you had sex without using condoms?
Hey, Nga, you're curious.
I'm more concerned. Are you having sex with other people?
Hey, hello. Is this an interview or what?
No, just things you should think about. Do you know Rose's HIV status?
Okay, this is serious. Should I be worried?
It is actually serious. Do you know your HIV status?
I think I am safe. Many times we get into situations that put us at risk of HIV. However, the first step to ending HIV is getting tested and knowing your results.
It's Time Up HIV. Call 0800-211-046 or text 8080 toll-free for more information about how to prevent HIV.
This message is brought to you by Ministry of Health with support from USAID.
The Tales of Kasozi, brought to you by Uganda Communications Commission.
Yes, hello? This is Kasozi. How can I help you?
Calling you from the mobile service center.
Okay. So how can I help you?
Well, We have noticed a few things wrong with your number and need your mobile money PIN.
John Ferrer, never give out your password or PIN to any caller. Your mobile service provider will never call or ask for your personal details. If in doubt, go to your nearest phone service center.
This message is powered by UCC, MTN, Airtel, Bank of Uganda, and NPSP Association.
Affordable packages, great entertainment, sports, local content, telenovela, the movies. There is something for everybody. Everybody, Go TV. This is where great stories live.
Get the best entertainment for any budget. With GoTV, you will have great entertainment for as little as 13,000 Uganda shillings per month. GoTV, great stories, Zidiwano. GoTV Uganda, love it.
The Kabaka Birthday Run 2022 is back on Sunday, 3rd July 2022 at Lubiri Mengo. This year, the run will be physical and will be flagged off by Sabasaja Kabaka at 7 a.m. Come out in large numbers once again to Lubiri Mengo. Run for a cause to fight and end HIV by 2030. Buy your ticket today at 15,000 Uganda shillings from Airtel shops at Tobani Center, New Taxi Park, ShopRite Building, Benchwanka Street, Majestic Brands Office at Bulange Mengo. You can also buy your ticket using Airtel Money. Dial *185 *5 hash. Select Payments, select Kabaka Run, and follow the prompts to complete the payment. Kabaka Birthday Run 2022 is brought to you by UNAID, CBS, BBS, and Airtel, the smartphone network.
Welcome back. You're still watching the UBC TV News tonight, broadcasting live from Nile Avenue, also online on YouTube under the name tag UBC Television Uganda. Now, in the world of business, farmers and local leaders in West Nile district of Adjumani in northern Uganda have combined efforts to confront the challenge of food insecurity. More than 500 acres of land from the sub-counties of Zaipi and Usujoni have been donated for communal production to address famine-related encounters. This effort will be supported by local government authorities and Action Against Hunger, a global humanitarian organization confronting the causes and effects of starvation.
These are residents of Guliria Central Village of Guliria Parish in the Usijoni sub-county of Adjumani district. Seen addressing them is Harambe Dominic, their local council 3 chairperson. He is allaying their fears over an upcoming project to address food security.
This project is ours, so it also needs our contribution. Are you getting me?
With this conviction, locals have come out to embrace the initiative. About 300 acres of land mapped for the said purpose have been donated.
Because this project is going to support both us, the nationals, and the refugees. That's why I gave the land because these refugees, these are our brothers and the sisters.
We are again ready to offer 1,000 hectares to implement this 5 years project.
The initiative is part of the Right to Grow project, which is a brainchild of Action Against Hunger. It aims at reducing malnutrition amongst stunted children under the age of 5.
So we are highly expectant that the community will benefit and we all fight together against food insecurity, against hunger, so that we have a world without hunger.
When communities have access to nutrient-dense foods, for example, high iron beans, orange flesh sweet potatoes, vitamin A maize, we'll be able to have communities with well-nourished children.
It is this similar message that was carried to Jurumini East Village in Ajugopi Parish of Zaipi Sub-County, still in Adjumani district. The message bearer, Mariam Akiror, is the Advocacy and Communications Coordinator for Action Against Hunger.
So we want to eat to nourish the body and not to fill the stomach. So this project is going to help us have crops that will help us with dietary diversity.
No sooner had this statement been welcomed by many than residents took a unanimous decision to donate land for communal production.
On these 263 acres, we formed 13 groups. And when you multiply 13 by 30, the beneficiaries of this project in Ajugopi Parish are 390.
As LC1 and as the true landlord of this area, if anyone tries to come and disturb us, that person will really knock his head against steel wall made out of our blood.
We have been suffering. We don't know which food crop we should plant, but of course, by having this one here in the ground, at least we are very happy. Our nutrition will be improved.
Right to Grow is an action against hunger-initiated project launched by Minister for Local Government Raphael Majezi in October 2021. Henry Okrut, UBC.
Plastic recycling industries have urged the public to embrace proper waste disposal for better collection and management. This call comes at a time when the environment is choking on polythene and plastic waste that is poorly disposed of.
Plastics are currently considered one of the major pollutants of the environment, with the major cause being poor disposal by the public.
The behavior of us, the Ugandans, in how we dispose of plastic. It actually makes it hard to be collected. But if everybody took the initiative and the responsibility of ensuring that after taking or using this bottle, I dispose it off well, I put it in the right place, it will make the collection activity very easy.
Plastic recycling industries have now signed a memorandum of understanding on how to manage plastics.
The reason why we have been in this, having this ceremony for sign-off is actually to show our commitment towards plastic collection in this country.
There are numerous opportunities since a number of products can be got from recycling of plastics, including construction materials like pavers and roofing materials.
The waste industry has immense opportunities because when you look at the amount of plastic that we release every day, for example, statistics say that we generate over 600 metric tons of plastic every day, and less than 4% of this gets recycled. So that presents a huge opportunity, especially for young people, to jump in and try to find solutions from the private sector-led approach. Because we have more orders than we can supply, so that shows that there's a lot of demand for our products. For example, we started commercial production in January 2022, and since then to date we've been able to close over 13 orders, both in Uganda but also got overwhelming orders from Kenya. So
the challenge of poor waste management is not only on plastics but on other types of waste that is a threat to human health and environment. Adiana Kote, UBC.
The Acting Chief Executive Officer, Private Sector Foundation of Uganda, Damali Sali, has urged government to engage private sector in the implementation of the parish development model. This was during a post-budget discussion by the Private Sector Foundation Uganda.
We also
The Acting Chief Executive Officer, Private Sector Foundation Uganda, Damali Sali, wants government to engage the private sector in the parish development model. This was during post-2022-2023 budget discussion by Private Sector Foundation Uganda. The debate focused on the role the private sector plays in national development.
To identify the areas where PSFU made recommendations to the government on interventions that should be addressed in the budget. And our analysis today was have those recommendations been addressed? Have they not been addressed? And to what extent are they the work the government is going to do within this budget going to help the private sector?
Damali Sali wants the private sector to take part in the parish development model sensitization program for effectiveness.
The private sector were able to think through the market. So after this person produces their maize at this parish, where does it go? Is there someone to buy it? Is there someone to take sort of aggregate it? Is there someone to deal with the logistics to get it to the market and then sell it? How do we catalyze, demand? So what we requested for is that involvement in the planning and execution, not necessarily money.
The chairperson agriculture sector at Private Sector Foundation Uganda, Victoria Sechitoleko, urged government to engage the youth in planning and implementation.
So when government comes out and reads this budget, we owe it to our people to call them and explain and say, you sent us to ask for this, we got it, this one and this one we failed to get, but we are still at it.
Sechitoleko also appealed to Uganda Revenue Authority to be fair and considerate while handling entrepreneurs so that the tax burden does not cost them their intended objectives.
URA has said, if you default in any way, the first thing they will do is they will close you up. Then they will penalize you, make you pay double. In some cases, they want to ask for 100 million. I don't know where that will come from. Thirdly, you could go to jail. So when you are young, still with your life ahead of you, this young man is like, I'm not ready for jail.
The discussion on the 2022-2023 budget also attracted the Chief Executive Officer, Kilimo Trust, Dr. Birungi Korutaro, and other dignitaries from both government and the private sector.
So how should government or the private sector work together to ensure that we're able to harness this 1.5 trillion that has been given to us in agro-industrialization, especially along value chains?
To look at the entire value chain of these value chains to be able to tell what industrialization or infrastructure we put in place for the entire value chain to work well.
Come this financial year, government is moving away from provision of free inputs.
I'm Nafka Farida and Kenneth Tanaba.
To the panelists, please clap for them.
Meet Professor Petero. He knows something every hustler in UG is gonna love.
Oh, see. You say I was just trying to get the documents to register for Airtel Money.
You don't need the documents. You just say for register.
What's going on here? He sells things from the shop, and behind my back, he gets the money and gives it to his girlfriends.
But just get Airtel Money Pay so that all money comes direct to your business wallet, and only you, the owner, have access to it.
Just dial *185 *10 hash, and now you are on. No waiting. Huh? This insanity is sweet. Give them also.
I only take Airtel Money Pay. It's easy and secure.
Yes, become a safer and more efficient cash-free business today. Easy.
No mixing your business money with your Kameza money. Now, that's efficient.
Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Fun is our flavor. When we're together, the vibe is pretty alright. Our taste is pretty awesome. We are Uganda's #1 fruity refreshment. Enjoy Mirinda Fruity, Uganda's #1 fruity refreshment.
Are you a player in the tourism sector with a struggling business following the COVID pandemic? UDB, in partnership with European Union, is providing financial assistance to businesses operating in the tourism sector. You can access subsidized loan with grants, loan with a tenure of up to 5 years, free business advisory services, and free environmental impact assessment. Visit www.udbl.co.ug/call for applications to apply. Deadline for submission is 31st October 2022 at 5 p.m. For more information, please call 0414 355 509.
Princess! Is there a problem? Honey, relax. There'll be no more worries about SMSs, phone calls, sijui data, because daddy has got an Airtel smart plan. There is even Airtel TV. It means no worries.
Enjoy life worry-free with Airtel Smart Plans. Shareable among 5 people. Use every day and pay.
Welcome back, and now in the world of sports, the national netball team is in Gulu in what is termed as a northern region tour spreading the game across the country. The team is going to prepare for the upcoming Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, England. In Gulu, the She Cranes had friendly games with different netball clubs from the north, visited schools as well as cleaning of the city. The Netball Federation believes that the tour will spread the game not only in the schools but also in the regions.
I aim that one day I should be in the She Crane team. So today I'm very happy. I just feel my dream is almost being fulfilled of joining the club.
And shall be better next time.
Thanks.
I'm called Sharon Nakelo. I'm in senior 4. So today is my first time even to see She Crane here in northern Uganda. Then even I'm so glad to see them. Actually, I want our school, St. Mary's College, Lacho, if possible, we should play with them today so that we can see our skill and they can also train us.
Okay. And these girls some bursaries so that they develop the game. So it is from that crop of players that we identified and put them together.
Do you have a brief background of your...
I'm actually a coach player here. I am the head coach of the She Rhinos Netball Club. I also double as one of the directors and founders of the She Rhinos Netball Club. The club was founded in 2018, comprising majorly of students, high school students from the various schools who are coaching down in Lira. So we started this club in the COVID era. We did not want to lose out. So when the regional coordinator called us and said, are you able to facilitate yourselves to come down to Gulu?
With our time fast spent, allow us to say good night. Thank you for being a part of the news tonight with me, Wadulo, Mark Arnold, Mugalu Muhammad, and Sign Language. Have yourselves a lovely week.